Hello, Idaho watch enthusiasts. Today I want to talk about money. Specifically choosing the right watch for you. Why are some watches $8,000 and some watches are $80? How does that happen? I had some examples that I thought were really great representations of different price points. We're going to talk a little bit about specifications. I want to talk about what you should be looking for in a watch, maybe what you should be paying for. And I have some examples I've selected as well. But before we get started, I'm gonna give you my EDC pocket dump and then my wristwatch check. Let's flip that camera over. All right, so real quick, pocket dump and wristwatch check. Of course, I've got same old. This is the Night Eyes doohickey. Always got my Night Eyes doohickey on me. Bottle opener, pry bar, screwdrivers, love it. And of course my Olight, very bright my little Olight, love this thing. I don't know if I've shown on camera before, but it is USB-C rechargeable. Very cool. So always got these on me. And of course, wearing the Civivi Vision. This is my Civivi Vision FG. It opens really easy and very sharp, very reliable. Just great to have on hand all the time. So with my EDC out of the way, wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing the Seiko Speed Timer solar chronograph. Wears extremely well on my wrists. Just love this thing for how well it conforms to my wrist. It's not oversized. It's got a very nice bracelet. I tend to wear it on a leather strap, but just felt like putting it on the bracelet today. And you can actually see a little bit of that blue shine. It's got that blue anti-reflective coating. Very nice sapphire crystal. Big fan of this watch. Let's jump into some of these watches. When you're looking at buying a watch, obviously you want to decide on your budget and your price point and how much you're comfortable spending. Let's start with what you can get for your money and why those watches cost what they do. So starting here, this is my Tissot Gentleman, the green dial. It's got the Powermatic 80 movement with the silicone hairspring. Some of that can actually be seen through this display case back. Absolutely love that. Awesome watch. Very, very cool. So for your money, you get a watch that is Swiss made. If you can't see those little words in the bottom of the dial there, Swiss made, you're definitely gonna pay for that. It's expensive to make things in Switzerland. They do tend to make things very well. And getting it over here, there's cost associated with that. Also, there's a level of craftsmanship that you can really appreciate in a watch like this. There's a polished section between these brushed areas of the case down here on the lug. So it's brushed, polished, and then brushed again. Each of these indices that mark your minutes or hours, these are brushed individually and then polished on the edges and then applied to the dial, as well as the frame around the date window, polished. Then there's lume applied to the dial. The movement with a mechanical movement like this one is automatic and it winds itself. There's no batteries, there's no computers. This is just an old, almost a lost art, but there's so much that goes into making this and all those little pieces and parts. And this strap, this is actually a Tissot strap. So there's cost associated with this, making the leather, putting it all together. Again, sapphire crystal, more premium components. I know Tissot only uses 316L surgical grade stainless steel. A lot of people don't know there's different types of steels. And when you wind it, it's so smooth. It doesn't make a sound, it doesn't click or have any kind of resistance. This is all craftsmanship and quality. So this you can find all day around $750 new. Pretty expensive watch. I'm gonna go down to the other end of the spectrum. This is a Timex Weekender. This specific one I put on an aftermarket strap. I inherited this from my grandpa, but this is about a $30 watch. Depending on where you go, you should be able to find this under 30 bucks. It does light up a little bit. It has a quartz movement, which means it has a battery and a little computer. And the technology is still really cool. I love watches, so of course I'm gonna say that. With these, you have a battery in there and it runs a current through a little quartz crystal, and that quartz crystal vibrates. And it has a step counter attached to that counts those vibrations. And after enough vibrations, it moves the second hand and it moves the gear train, it moves the hands on the watch. So it's cool technology, but it's much less expensive to produce a quartz movement. You can throw a battery in. It doesn't take human intervention necessarily, it's just running out of a machine. They can make them in huge quantities. This crystal, it's just glass. They call it a mineral crystal. It scratches up pretty easily. Mine's all scratched up. Not saying that's a bad thing. I love the scratches and the stories of this watch, but it's not sapphire. This is made of any old stainless steel with a gold finish in this case. The dial isn't individually made and assembled, it's printed. That's okay, but that is cheaper. So there's some things that just don't cost as much. If I move up the line a little bit, this is my Vosto Commandeer ski. I'm getting it winded here. This is about an $80 watch. This does have a mechanical movement. It's actually automatic. This was made in Russia. And again, mineral crystal. There is some brushing on the case, but it's not finished to the level that I was showing in the Tissot. Now let's move up into around $200. I think I paid about $175 for this. It comes on a bracelet, although I like to swap out straps. So I've got this leather two-piece strap. This is the Citizen Nighthawk BJ 7000. It's much better finishing than the Vosto. It does have brushing. This crystal actually has a step at the edge of it, which is really cool craftsmanship. It's got great lume. All the markers are individually made and then applied to the dial. So all those little details take some extra time to make and manufacture. The crown is knurled, and when I screw it in, it always ends facing up. Really, really cool little detail. Citizen does a great job with that. So there's more to it. It's definitely gonna cost the manufacturer more to make this. And you know what else? This watch is solar powered. There's a little extra technology, another layer of complexity to raise the price on what it takes to make this happen. Also, raising the price for the consumer. There's one other thing you might consider when you're looking at a watch. Of course, we talk about sapphire crystals versus a mineral crystal. We can talk about an automatic movement, which is going to be much more expensive than a quartz movement. Maybe you're tempted to go vintage. This is my 1969 Mito Multistar. I'll show it on the wrist because it is a very small watch. It's classically sized, I'm gonna say. I put it on an Hadley Roma, a black Hadley Roma strap, matching stainless steel buckle. This is calfskin, very nice. Suited the watch very well, I thought. And this is, I'm gonna say $200 to $300 at the high end, if you get a good example of these watches. So it is automatic. As I wear it, it will start to tick, or I can wind it up. It has, because it's vintage, it has an older, we call it Hesalite crystal. This is actually made of kind of a plastic, which is great for clarity, but it scratches up really easily. And vintage is kind of another minefield where prices are more powered by demand than the cost of the watch, because the cost has been absorbed after the years of people buying it and passing it along. Maybe it's third or fourth owner. I always advise new collectors steer clear of vintage. I love my Medio. I've got 2 or 3 vintage watches in my collection, but I don't wear them a ton because they can be more fragile. They can be prone to breaking. As I'm showing, this crystal has some scratches on it. They can experience a lot of issues and require a little bit extra maintenance. So hopefully that helps when you're shopping for a watch. Knowing where your money goes, what makes something so much more expensive versus being made in different places, being made of different materials, and ultimately buy what you love, wear what you buy. That's what it's all about. And hopefully this helps make the buying process and the shopping process easier. But of course, leave in the comments if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, opinions. I want to hear about it. I'll see you in the comments. I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to this channel already, who's liked any video, and who's watched my videos, and join me as I'm learning how to film and how to edit, and feel like with every video I'm getting a little bit better. If you like this video, please subscribe. Comment below your wristwatch check, some of the questions you've got. I try to stay very active in the comment sections, so I'd love to be able to interact with you there. That's all I got for you. And this is your reminder to wear your watches. A little bit about dimension. I want to talk about a really big moth that just hit my door. All right.